The Little Cat and the Greedy Old Woman. One day, the greedy old woman got up early. She started baking and cooking for a very special dinner. The little cat watched as she measured and stirred, using all the bowls and saucepans in the kitchen. The old woman licked her lips as she tested each dish. Meow, called a tiny voice from under the table. I'm getting hungry. But the old woman paid no attention. By the end of the day, the kitchen was full of delicious smells. The little cat, who had cried out hungrily again and again, could bear it no longer. He decided to help himself to a teeny tiny taste. Thief! Bellowed the old woman. Dang, she looks like Bilbo Baggins when she thought Gandalf was going to steal the ring. Grabbing him by the scruff of his neck, she threw him into the rain and slammed the door shut. Please let me in, the little cat cried pitifully, but no one listened. So he curled his tail around his wet paws, closed his eyes, and thought about the warm, savory-smelling kitchen. He thought about the old woman who wouldn't even share the tiniest taste with him. He felt a very large anger growing inside of him. If only I wasn't so small. If only I could be as large as my anger, wished the cat. Suddenly, a strange thing happened. The little cat began to swell. He grew and grew, bigger and bigger. Soon he was the size of a great jungle tiger and just as ferocious. He easily pushed through the door with his heavy weight. He stamped down the passage to the dining room where the old woman was about to eat the special dinner all by herself. He growled an angry growl that made all the china rattle. Startled, the old woman looked up. When she saw the tiger-sized cat, she screamed. See? Screamed. He growled an even angrier growl, and the furniture shook. In a panic, the old woman scrambled onto the table and up onto the dining room light. There she swung, trembling with fear. The giant cat licked his lips. He put his huge paws on the table and began to eat. He crunched the bones with his great teeth and licked the dishes with his enormous tongue until they were shiny clean. Then he looked up at the terrified face of the greedy old woman and smiled. A great wide tiger smile. A great rumbling tiger purr throbbed through the room. He purred, and the more he purred, the more he shrank, until he was just a little cat sitting on the dining room carpet, purring a little purr. At last, the greedy old woman opened her eyes, and when she saw the little cat, she stopped shaking and climbed down from the dining room light. She stood next to the little cat, smiling nervously. Then she went into the kitchen. She came back with a plate of crackers and cheese, and she ate them for her dinner. On her soft lap, the little cat slept peacefully. The old woman was never greedy again.